If you had a C-section and you're sitting there thinking, why does my stomach hurt more than my incision? Let me just say it out loud. Gas pain and constipation after a C-section can be brutal, like unexpectedly brutal. And it messes with everything. Getting up, feeding the baby, sleeping, even just breathing without feeling tight. This video is for you if you're in those first days at home and your gut feels like it forgot how to be a gut. Before we get into it, I have a free resource, a simple first days home checklist. Nothing fancy, just the items that you help feel more stable at home. If you want it, grab it through the link I keep in my description. Now, let's get you some relief. Hi, I'm Cherry, a certified maternal and newborn nurse with over 25 years of helping moms like you. And I'm here to help you heal physically, feel emotionally seen, and rebuild your strength during the fourth trimester. Now, real talk. Your body just went through abdominal surgery, not a tough workout. Surgery. So, if your belly feels swollen, tight, gassy, and you cannot poop, that doesn't mean something is wrong with you as a person. It means your body is recovering. Let me explain what's happening. After a C-section, your intestines slow down. Anesthesia slows things down. Pain medication can slow things down, specifically the narcotics. When you're not moving much, because standing feels like a whole event, your gut moves even slower. So, gas gets trapped, stool sits there longer, and your belly starts feeling like a balloon that somebody keeps inflating. That trapped gas can cause sharp pain in your lower belly, and sometimes it even travels up into your shoulder area. That part freaks people out, but it can happen because the gas irritates nerves under the diaphragm. Annoying? Yes. Common? Also, yes. Here's the goal for this video. I want you to know what's normal, what actually helps, what doesn't help, and the red flags, because I don't want you guessing and suffering through it. Let's start with the biggest mindset shift. Your gut does not respond well to, I'll just wait it out. Waiting quietly usually makes it worse, but the fix is not extreme. The fix is small, steady, boring steps that add up. Let's get into it. First step, fluids. And I don't mean chug a gallon right now. I mean steady sipping throughout the day. Your body can't move stool well if it's dry and stuck. If you can do warm fluids, that can be even better. Warm tea, warm water, broth, warm drinks can relax the belly a little and help things wake up. If you want a practical postpartum tip, warm prune juice is a classic. Now, is it delicious? That's a personal decision. However, it works for many people. Second step, gentle movement. This is where I want you to stop imagining exercise. You are not training for anything. You are simply telling your intestines, hey, we live here. Let's do our job. A slow lap around the living room is enough. A slow lap to the kitchen and back is enough. If you want a visual think, browsing Target, but you're too tired to actually shop. That kind of speed. That's the vibe. If you need to hold on to a counter or a wall, do so. You're not trying to look athletic. You are trying to heal. Third step, pain control matters here. Many moms don't realize this part. If you're in a lot of pain, your whole body stays tense. And when you're tense, your breath is shallow. You move less, and you avoid the bathroom because you don't want to deal with it. Then your gut slows down further. So, if your discharge instructions have you taking pain medications on a schedule, that's not just about comfort. It's also about helping you move and function enough for your body to recover. Follow your discharge instructions like a recipe. If you're breastfeeding and unsure what's safe, don't guess. Call your OB office or ask the pharmacist or the lactation consultant. Your nurse should have knowledge of these things too. Now, let's talk constipation specifically, because this is where a lot of moms feel scared to even try. Some moms say, I feel like I'm going to rip open. And I get why you feel that. The pressure is real, and the fear is also real. But your incision is not going to pop open from a normal bowel movement. What makes it miserable is straining, holding your breath, and pushing too hard. So, here's what helps with that. If your doctor prescribed a stool softener, take it as directed. A stool softener is meant to make the stool easier to pass without having you push like you're trying to move a furniture. Some doctors also recommend additional options if a stool softener is not enough. But I want you to stick with your discharge plan or call before adding anything new. This is especially important if you have other medical issues or you're on certain medications. Also, let's talk about food in a realistic way. I'm not going to tell you to eat a giant salad when you're barely surviving on crackers and leftovers. However, adding 1 or 2 constipation-friendly foods can help. Think simple: oatmeal, pears, prunes, warm soup, cooked veggies, beans if your body tolerates them. You don't need a perfect diet. You need a few gentle nudges in the right direction. Here's a small trick that helps many moms. Bathroom posture. When you sit on the toilet, place your feet on a small stool or a stack of books to raise your knees slightly. That position helps stool pass with less strain. And when you go, you don't hold your breath and push hard. Exhale slowly. Think, let it happen, not force it out. And here's another one that sounds silly, but it works. Take a small pillow or a folded blanket. Hold it gently against your lower belly while you're trying to poop or while you're passing gas. That support makes your body feel safer and reduces the pulling sensation that causes you to tense up in the first place. Now, I want to say something that moms don't hear enough. You do not have to earn recovery by suffering. If you need help getting your gut moving, that doesn't make you weak. It makes you a normal person recovering from surgery. Let me give you a simple 2-day plan because I know it's hard to think clearly when you're tired and uncomfortable. Today, I want you to focus on 3 things only: staying well hydrated, taking a few short walks, and taking your prescribed medications correctly. Not all or nothing, not perfection, just those 3. And I want you to stop holding your pee. Some moms hold their pee because getting up is annoying or because they think it helps them stay supported. But a full bladder can make your belly feel tighter and actually more uncomfortable. And it can make bathroom trips more urgent and stressful. Pee every few hours. Keep it simple. If you want a step-by-step 72-hour home plan after a C-section laid out clearly, I keep my free resources and checklists at the link in the description. You don't need to piece this together. You deserve structure. Now, let's talk about gas pain specifically because gas pain has its own personality. It can be sharp. It can move around. It can come in waves, and it can make you feel like something is seriously wrong when it's actually your intestines waking up. What helps gas pain? Movement helps. Warm fluids help. A gentle belly massage can help. Light circles, nothing aggressive. A warm pat on your upper belly can feel good, but don't put heat directly on your incision. And please don't fall asleep with a heating pad on high. If your doctor said an over-the-counter gas medication is okay for you, that can help too. Again, check your discharge instructions or ask. I'd rather you get a quick yes, that's fine, than sit there wondering. Also, I want you to know this. The first bowel movement after a C-section can take a few days. For some moms, it happens in 2 or 3 days. For others, it's more like 4 or 5. The timing varies. What matters more than the exact day is how you feel overall and whether you're able to pass gas. Passing gas is a good sign that the gut is waking up, even if you haven't pooped yet. Now, this part matters. When do I want you to call your OB or get checked? I want you to take this seriously. If your belly pain is getting worse and not easing at all, if you're vomiting, if you can't keep fluids down, if your belly is getting more and more swollen and hard, if you have a fever, or if you are not passing gas at all and you feel really unwell. Also, if you haven't had a bowel movement in several days and you're miserable even with your current plan, call. You're not bothering anyone. This is part of your postpartum care. And while we're here, I want to quickly connect this to incision checking because many moms start checking their incision repeatedly when they notice unusual symptoms. Here's my rule. Check your incision once a day in a good light and then move on. Look for redness that's spreading, warmth, swelling that's getting worse, drainage that looks like a pus, a bad smell, or the incision is opening. If you see those, call. If you don't see those, let your body heal without turning incision checking into a full-time job. Okay, let's bring this home with a quick, practical pep talk. Tonight, your job is not to fix everything. Your job is to take small steps that help your body move forward. Drink a little, walk a little, take your prescribed medications as directed. Try warm fluids. Brace your belly when you use the bathroom. And if you need help, call your OB. That is smart postpartum care. If you want the next video, I recommend watching my one on getting out of bed safely after a C-section because the way you move affects your pain, your confidence, and how much you avoid walking, which affects your gut. I'll link it for you. If this video helped, subscribe because I'm going to keep giving you the kind of postpartum education you should have gotten before you left the hospital. Clear, supportive, and real. You've got enough on your plate. Let's make recovery easier. I'm Cherry, and I will see you in the next one.